Hey, Dr. White.
How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes. Hey, listen.
Yes, sir.
I forgot to tell you the reason why the PowerPoint doesn't really show up good on StreamYard is because this is really for talk shows, radio shows, not so much meetings. So that's why Zoom is a little bit better for that. But I'm not sure if you're going to be doing your own show coming up, but this is definitely the way to go for your radio show. I'm not going to keep Zoom because I don't want to have, look, the Zoom is $14 a month. This is $20 a month. The Sirius XM radio, when you look at all the little bills you got, next thing you know, you're paying $200 a month for some stuff you ain't using. It's either Zoom or StreamYard. But I just wanted you to know as far as that. But you know what? We can keep Zoom for the free package.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know the F5, that's because Zoom is for meetings. This is for a show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is
this gospel music, Spiritual Romeo?
Yeah, man. Hey, look here. Hey, turn it up a little bit. Hey, see, you have some people come in, family, y'all can chime in, come on in, and stuff like that. So that's some good stuff. Come on in.
Oh, are you already live?
I just hit live. I start on time, brother. Hey,
let me share it. Let me share it.
Okay, awesome.
Until you came into my life, and you showed me there is love. And I think I love you. That's too soon.
DJ Chillax.
It turned out to be a DJ under Spiritual Romeo.
Hey, good little music, man, that we gonna enjoy. Let people know that you guys want to interact with us. Just click on the link that I posted. We invite you guys in because we're definitely going to break this thing down for you guys, who want to learn. Hey, I see my cousin there. Welcome, sis. Welcome, cuz.
I don't think they can hear you too well, Dennis, because I could barely hear you over the music.
Can you hear me better now?
That's better. I was saying the music was a little loud. I couldn't really hear you. That's good. That's better.
Okay, I just probably have to bring my mic a little bit closer. You can hear me better now?
That's better, yes.
Awesome. Appreciate that. See my cousin right there logged in. Carolyn, welcome. Fan, welcome. Please chime in and let us know who's all out there. Because like I said, for those who are looking to write a book, we're going to explain this, break this thing down, and just making sure you guys are really chasing your dreams and making sure those things are accomplished. But if you want to interact, engage with us, because at the end, we're going to be taking questions at the end. So we want to make sure, because we're going to start in about 3 more minutes. We're going to go ahead and go live and get started. And hey, like I said, we're going to welcome you guys. So if you guys want to get in, engage, you can click on the link. We accept you guys in. Appreciate you guys,
Hey, Dennis, your music is chopping your voice out.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So I just want to, welcome you guys. Welcome you guys here. Is that better, Dr. White?
Much better. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to stop talking and let y'all enjoy the music. We're going to start in like 3 minutes.
Idea, want to come say hi? Let her come say hi.
Welcome, Tanya, Ms. Thompson, Florida, Ms. Davis. Welcome you guys for joining us today. Welcome.
Your smile is like a $1,000,000 smile. Ooh, baby, I'm in love.
We'll be starting in about 1 minute.
Your voice. You whisper sweet nothings in my ear. Ooh, baby, I'm in love. I like the way you look at me. You turn me on. I like the way you smile at me. It turns me on. I like the way you say my
Hello, family. It's your boy Dennis Nickens, aka Spiritual Romeo, and I'm telling you, family, I'm excited to have you guys with us today as we are actually out to be able to give you guys some information today. We're excited to have you guys today. Family, I have a special guest with me today, no other than one of my mentors, Dr. Larry White, Sr. of the Larry White Show. How you doing today, my brother?
Great evening, great evening, Dennis. Blessed to be on the same platform as an amazing spiritual brother, aka Spiritual Romeo. So thank you so much for putting this together. I'm excited tonight. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. Most importantly, appreciate you accepting an invite. As you know, when I thought about this, I actually had a conversation with my cousin, and she threw something out there. She said, you guys are writing a lot of books, and I want to learn how to write a book. And so I said, well, I'm always in the business of trying to help people. And I said, hey, let me speak to one of my guys, which I knew had written bestsellers, and I'm doing pretty good with the books I've released as well. And so we collaborated, and now we out to really provide people information that's going to assist them in being successful in writing a book. And so that's what we're doing today, family. Today, October the 7th at 7 o'clock. We're going to give you guys information and really give you a step-by-step plan on how to go about writing a book. That's what we're doing. So before I get started, I'll have a slide presentation and what I will do. We want to make sure you guys get the information. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do, I want Dr. White to introduce yourself, Dr. White, and tell people a little bit about yourself, my brother.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you once again, Brother Dennis Nickens, and shout out to you and all the amazing work you're doing, all your books. Man, when I looked at your this layout for the first time earlier today, you're doing some great things, and the authors, soon to be authors, some seasoned authors already are going to get some great information. So thank you. Once again, I am Dr. Larry White Sr., 3-time best-selling author, soon to be 4, speaking it in advance. A little bit about me. I have been in business for 7 years. I own a small event firm here in the DC area called VIP Events Concierge, where we do a lot of events, workshops, seminars, black tie galas. And obviously with the pandemic, I've had to pivot a little bit and do most of that stuff virtual. Just a few weeks ago, I did my 6th annual Congressional Black Caucus workshop that was virtual. And I just launched my new book with 14 amazing men called When Men Lean In, We All Win. So I can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all at Dr. Larry White Sr. And I am a proud husband of 18 years to my beautiful wife, Rebecca, our 5 children, and our 1 grandbaby, baby Sky. So I'm pumped up, and I'm just so blessed to pour into you all tonight.
Awesome. I tell you, he has a beautiful grandbaby. And she looked more like Dr. White that does her own family.
Amen. Amen.
Good
Yeah.
genes.
And I'm just sharing this out. They're starting to matriculate in, Dennis.
Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. Welcome aboard. So, as you know, I'm Dennis Nickens, aka Spiritual Romeo, and I'm the author of 3 books, fam. One bestseller book, Unbroken Vows, Keeping It Together. That was my bestseller, and I just released a new one for singles called Singlehood. It's Okay to Be Selfish. That is really it's going to be an amazing book for all you individuals who are single out there. That book is a great read. It is a motivational book to really get you to look at your relationship, look at your life the way Jesus Christ and the Father was. You know, Jesus didn't allow anyone to separate the relationship he had with God. He was selfish in being the example for other people. He wasn't going to allow anybody to separate that relationship. So my thing is that Jesus understood that he had to be priority number 1. So that's what that book is about. Unbroken Vows, Keeping It Together. That book is about being a man and a woman of your word. You know, you stand before your God and you speak these vows and you say, okay, I am going to be a man of one of my word and I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And that book is really it's designed to get you to understand how you should be held accountable for the things that come out of your mouth. If I say I'm going to be a devoted husband or a devoted wife, then I need to stand by that. I need to do exactly what I said. And so that's what that book is about. And Doing it God's Way, It Worked. That was my first book I wrote. And that book is designed dealing with those who are engaged, looking to get married, to give you a step-by-step guide on things you need to do, asking those hard questions before you say I do. So that's what that book is about. And I tell you what, you can reach me on Facebook. You can see the information is there. A website, DennisNickens.com. You can get me my information. I'm also a certified behavior consultant, to where I give information on which is the disc dealing with behavior consultant. And that information, that platform is amazing. The information is going to give you what you need to make sure you make the right choice in a relationship, your business, career, whatever you're looking to do. That information is great. And so that's a little bit about us. So what we're going to do, family, we're going to get into this thing. And we're going to take it step by step. We're going to give you 8 points that's going to guide you in you writing your own book. That's what we're here for. We've done it. So what we want to do, we want to give you what you need to make sure you're successful. See all the thumbs up and likes and stuff like that. So here we go. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is, and Dr. White, we're going to talk about dealing with goals. As you can see, you have vision, goal, strategy, action, and success. So what's your thoughts about the first part in setting a goal? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know what? Setting a goal is definitely important, but achieving them and making them happen, making them come into fruition is the biggest key. You got to have set a bar. I remember 3 years ago, I was on tour with no book. And one of my goals after the tour was to write my first book. It's up here somewhere. It's right here. I'm sorry. And when I had a goal, I also had to have an accountability partner and a mentor, because they put me on a 6-month plan. You know, every month I had to do certain things. And when I got behind, it was a little bit rough. But just setting that goal, but also ascertaining it and making it come into fruition. So I had a goal to have this out in 2018, and it was launched in 2018. So that's very important in achieving things, because it serves as motivation that you actually accomplish something. Because I didn't think I could achieve the goal, Dennis, because of the naysayers, and this wasn't supposed to be me. But the Holy Spirit said, hey, if nobody bought that book, just remember you did it for you. So that's key. I want people to understand your goals are for you, not for everybody else. Amen.
Awesome, awesome. And in building and putting those goals, I want you guys to look at the points that I put on there. Building a brand. So if you look at me, you can see my brand. You see the cartoon picture of me, but that's my brand. So wherever I put my stamp on, you're going to see that. So when you're setting goals, think about the brand you're trying to create. What is it to where they see the picture and they understand who you are? So my thing, when they see that picture, the first thing they're going to think of Dennis Nickens. So the first thing I want you to do, I want you to think about your brand. I want you to definitely, is critical that you think about your brand. You need to start looking at, speaking, doing video courses. You want to make sure you deal with consultant people who are going to be able to assist you to making sure you reach that goal. Like Dr. White said, he set out a goal. He had a strategy plan. He put these things in place. And then I want you to think about the type of money you want to make. It may not happen overnight, but it is a process. Yeah, you're gonna make, some money from the books you write. But my thing is that don't think it's gonna happen overnight. A lot of those people make a lot of money off of books. They actually have sponsors. So, in the very beginning, you may not be able to get sponsors, but the more books you write, now you can start speaking to sponsors where you can put sponsors on your book that start supporting you. So those are the things I want you to start thinking about, setting goals, getting sponsorships and stuff like that in place. Is there anything else you want to add dealing with goals and being determined, Dr. White?
Well, yes, but we got a few shout outs. First of all, Sheila Gibson out of Maryland says, your StreamYard looks absolutely amazing, Spiritual Romeo.
Beautiful.
So this is our first time, everybody, doing StreamYard. We're getting rid of Zoom. So I just got to give a couple shout outs. Sheila Gibson says, absolutely amazing. Roberta out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. She said, looking amazing, Spiritual Romeo. And they're matriculating in. So I want to give the shout outs to everybody that's watching. Keep sharing, keep liking everything, because Dennis and I are getting ready to bring the heat. We're going to take it up and we're going to cool y'all off at the end with some Q&A. So shout out to all the DMV Mastermind members and all the people sharing and liking the broadcast. Goals. You gotta set them and you gotta hold yourself accountable. Dennis is a really nice guy, but when you talk to him offline, he tough. He don't play around. And so, folks, if you don't take your business seriously, you really just have a hobby, okay? And you don't always have to be incorporated with an LLC, LLP. Just go to irs.gov and get your EIN number and you can start doing business. But take it seriously and be very passionate. When you're passionate about things, you will set your goals. Dennis, do you want me to leave it at that, or do you want me to touch bases on your vision and all those things? But I also want to add one thing when you get a moment to building your brand, because that's key. I think that needs to happen first before you get out here selling books, because there's some folks, they write some books and they have no brand, they have no network. So having a network and building your brand, and go hand in hand. For example, I just want to say this. I went on tour for 2 years, didn't have a book, but I got real popular around the country. So when I got this book out, it went, I sold 1,100 of these. And thank you, Dennis, for buying one. But the point is, you got to build your brand. You bought, amen, amen. 1,100. Now, it took me 2 years. Don't get me wrong. It didn't happen overnight, like Brother Dennis said, because you got to get out there and do it, and the slides are coming. But I had a great network of people. I had built a brand. I built a household name, empire, however you want to call it. They said, Dr. White, soon as your book come out, we're going to purchase it. We may not like the cover, but we appreciate what you've done in the community. So build your brand and build your network before you start selling books. Because I know some of y'all got some nice websites, some nice books, but they're not leaving the shelf because nobody know you really good.
Beautiful, beautiful said. So what we're going to do, we're going to move on to the next point. And like I said, and we're going to capture a lot of stuff and give some more additional feedback. So the next thing I want to do, talk about knowing your audience. And I'll start and then you can come back at that. Knowing your audience. My thing is that you know who you're going to pretty much try to interact and engage with. You need to make sure you know the people who you're trying to engage with. Because if you do not know the people you are engaging with, family, I'm letting you know you'll be in the wrong group. Like a lot of my books are spiritual books. So I reach out to churches. I reach out to even different type of organization around spiritual aspects. But also my book is also written to where even outside the four walls. But specifically, I target those particular groups. So if I understand that, then guess what? I need to know my audience. I need to know how to communicate. So when they read my book is, is something that they can flow with. So you need to make sure it's dealing with doing your research. You need to make sure you do your research. Research is so important. There's so many people written so much book and information out there. Do your research. Internet is full with so much information dealing with internet marketing, how to make money, and going about dealing with particular audience that you're dealing with, making sure that you, like I say, building that brand, when you do your research, you're building your brand. Make sure you're interactive, engaging with the correct audience. Because if you're positioned incorrectly, there we go. Then guess what? You're not going to receive the resources that you need to be successful. So make sure you're attacking or going after the correct audience. What's your thoughts on that, Miss Dr. White?
Ditto, ditto, ditto. And I just want to add this. Shout out to Brenda out of North Carolina, and shout out to Dr. Deshelle. Y'all amazing. Keep sharing, keep joining, because me and Dennis get ready to take up the temperature. There was an R&B singer. Y'all may know him. His name is Joe. He came out with a New Jack sound, trying to sound like Aaron Hall. But it took him an album or two to realize his target audience wasn't men, it wasn't children, it was women. They have what you call the Nielsen ratings to tell you who's listening to the radio at a certain time, a certain frequency. So he stopped writing music for men and started writing his slow jams for women, because they were the ones buying his music. I write my books for the entire family. But I will tell you, looking at the registration, 90% of my book sales come from women. I'm wondering, am I reaching the guys? What's going on, brothers? Are you on the golf course? What are you doing? I've had several. Shout out to Brenda out of North Carolina. She says, great golden nuggets. I'm not sure which book she read, but she read it. I hope it was Operating in Excellence, Chapter 2, Elevating in Your Season. But at any rate, I know that when I've sold 30 books of my new one, and 20 have come from women and 10 have come from men. So I'm still trying to engage my brothers, but it makes me understand, because I know when I'm writing from an African-American standpoint, maybe that male is missing in the home and the woman wants to go get it and see what happened in her home. But brothers, step it up. I still write my books for the entire family, because when you go publish your book, there's this button. Is it for kids? And I say, yes, it's good for kids. It's good for family. But that's key, knowing your target audience. If your book is strictly for women, put that out there. And there's ways to market it that way, because if you market it to the wrong folks, they ain't gonna buy it. Okay, so knowing your target audience, I say for the whole family is what I write for, but 90% of my sales are coming from African American females.
Awesome. Hey, and I can definitely agree with that. And the one thing I can let you know, in women, definitely y'all ladies, it's kind of like voting. Well, y'all women get out, y'all vote, and most of my support does come from the women. So, but the men do support as well. But we just have to figure out a way, like I said, knowing your audience, we have to figure out a way to where we interact and engage with both parties. I don't want to leave anyone out, because you never know who's going to buy the book. So my book is now my next book, which I'm going to write, is going to be that one's going to be for men, and then also going to write one for women, specifically targeting, because what I am built, I understand my audience. We have to work with the men, and I know I think someone, if you guys are trying to get in, you definitely can come in. If you click on the link, I can see it. I can definitely invite you guys in if you want to interact. If you have questions, if you want to communicate, you're gonna have to click on the link.
And Dennis, may I say something to you? Dennis, I just want to say this to you. You being a married man, I salute you. You are digging deep. When you wrote the book for the single people, I was really impressed with that, because most people in my network are married folks. I used to hang around a lot of single people, but there's two different lifestyles with single people and married people, and that matters, because there's a lot of great single people out here. And shout out to you, Dr. Deshelle. She said this is great. She said this is great. So let's keep bringing the heat. But as a married man, I really appreciate you, because you could have easily kept doing all the relationship stuff, but you spread it out, brother. You doing books for couples, you doing books for single people, because I go out a lot of times networking, and the single people be like, hey, I might not be married, but I mean, I'm still involved with writing books. And I apologize stepping in, but when I saw you do that, because like me and a few people in my book club, we kind of stay in like the same box with empowerment, inspiration, leadership, and entrepreneurship. But when you wrote this book for the singles, Lord put it on my spirit. I had to share that in all my groups, because they were like, hey, they ain't forgot about us. You know what I'm saying? Good look right there, Brother Dennis, AKA Spiritual Romeo, y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my thing is that I don't want to ever leave someone out, or want someone to think that, that because I'm telling you what inspired me to write a book for singles. when they read, when people saw that I wrote a book for marriage, I would hear from single people like, "What about us?" Knowing your audience, and I told them I've made a promise. I said, "Listen, my next book will be towards you guys because a lot of times, even at church, single people feel left out. But my thing,
Yes.
I want to let them know that hey, you are not forgotten. We do see you, and my thing is that this book, let you know, this book will let you know that you should make yourself a priority. Nothing irritates me more. This is spiritual Romeo. This is a relationship guy coming out now. Nothing irritates me more than seeing someone in a relationship and they're being disrespected, not appreciated, and the person not knowing their value.
Mm.
This book is going to get you to realize your value. And so, like I said, knowing your audience. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and move on because I tell you, I can stay on this all night, but I want to make sure I'm respectful of time and stuff like that. So yeah. So the next thing we're going to the next one. There we go. Picking a topic. Family. This right here is essential. You can see, and I did this for a reason. You see, we got the handsome young man right there. We have the beautiful sister at the bottom. You have the ice cream. You have your chocolate. You have your house. You have your car. Attention grabbers. So when you're picking your topic, you want to make sure that topic grab your attention. When I wrote my book, singlehood is okay to be selfish. Some people are like, huh? She's an attention grab. I need to grab your attention to get you to be intrigued about the book. Because most people, when they hear about, being selfish, they think it from a negative connotation. But you think about this. Usually when someone is calling you selfish but don't know your situation. Who are you? How is it that you can call me selfish and you don't know my situation? Until you understand my situation, then when you have understanding, now guess what? You can realize I'm making myself a priority. So, Mr. Dr. White, what made you come up with the design? Talk about picking a topic and making it geared to being attractive. What's your thoughts on that?
You taking me right where I want to go. When I picked this cover of this book, I was at a Black History program. My mother had passed away about a year before, and you just see a man trying to operate in excellence. I knew this was going to be the cover of my first book and my second book, I'm sorry, but it just had the caption. Even if you wouldn't read it, I knew the cover was going to grab you. Then you flip it over, and my buddy saw it. He said, "Man, that's cold." He said, "I ain't read your book yet," but I knew the glossy. And by the way, I did finish this book in Martha's Vineyard. Okay, I had to get in a sound state of mind. I went on that ferry. I had a good time. But this is my best book. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. This is it. Go get it. VIPVinceGarcias.com/purchase your book now. But the grabber, this picture shows you that I am operating in excellence. Been through some ups and downs. Didn't always get it right. And I wanted you all to see the peacefulness. For those who really know me 30, 40 years, they know I've been through hell and back, Brother Dennis, aka Spiritual Romeo. But this was like, he ain't perfect. He has stood the test of time, and his mother and father died back to back. Second marriage, you name it. Married to my beautiful wife for 18 years, and it explains how you can come out of that with that pain, purpose, and position. Another grabber. Everybody can relate to pain. That pain will lead you to your purpose. That purpose will lead you into position to do your God-given talents. Amen. So I'm with you there, brother. By the way, another bestseller, over 500 copies sold during the pandemic. So to God be the glory.
Awesome. You see that, family? Even though we're in a pandemic, it didn't stop him from releasing. But we're in a pandemic, but it didn't stop me from releasing my book. So my thing is that most people, when they want to read your book, usually they need help in a situation. A lot of single people needed to be directed. So I wrote that book. I'm planning to end up writing 8 books. And I already know the process I'm going to go in, but I'm strategic in putting these things together. But I want to make sure that it is attention grab. Like I said, branding, attention, making sure you recognize. You can look at the picture. The brother's very sharp in that picture. It grabbed your attention. Some people are intrigued by a house or a car, chocolate, sweets, whatever. If you're trying to do, male or female. That's what you want to think about when you're thinking about the information you're putting in the book. When in my book, in the very beginning of the first chapter, I talk about myself to where I can let you know I can relate to what you're going through. Even though I'm married, there was a time when I was single. I know the desire of wanting to be with someone, being lonely and stuff like that. I just came out of divorce, and at that time I didn't want to be with nobody else. I talk about those experiences. One thing I'm gonna let you know: people can relate to pain. Don't be ashamed of the things that you go through. People want to hear about that, but they want to understand the process that you went through and coming out of it, grabbing their attention. So your information need to get people's attention. So, is there anything else you want to add, Dr. White, before we move
No,
into
you nailed it. You nailed it. Perfect, brother.
Gotcha. Okay. Now we're going to talk about writing the book. I'll let you start off with this, Dr. White, and then I can go from there.
Well, you know what? I have yet to use these tools. I'm still old school. And my next two books, I'm going to use these digital dictation devices. I knew about them. Shout out to Steve Harvey. And I want to say that because a lot of people compare themselves. Like my first book was, I wanted it. I told the editor, I edit my own books now. I do everything in house. But my first one I did through some third party people, and I know Steve Harvey did the digital dictation. So I was like, wow, okay, because that's the way to go. I'll let you touch bases on that. But I'm still old school. I I write my manuscript. I type it out, actually. I type it out, and then I send it off have it formatting, which we'll get to the next slide. So I haven't gotten to the digital dictation just yet. I'm familiar with it. You had actually, and I want to throw it over to my brother Dennis. Brother Dennis, on my second book, I was finished my first. I met Brother Dennis at a book signing. Shout out to his amazing wife, Barbara Nickens, and they came to my book signing. He said, "Doc, how are you writing your books?" I'm going with the dictation device. I said, "I'm not quite there yet, but the fifth and sixth book, I'll do that." So I'm gonna throw it back over to you because this is huge. But this is how I tell people: this is how the big boys are doing it. They're doing it with the dictation device, and then the ghostwriter go ahead and clean it up for them. So Dennis, I'd like to throw it back over to you, but I have Scribe. I haven't played with it because, again, I'm old school. Type it up in Word, then get it cleaned up and formatted. So I'll throw it back over to you on this particular topic here, brother.
Okay, not a problem. I'm gonna let you know, family. I love dictation. I learned my first book. I actually wrote. The whole thing out. But our last two books, I used Sonic, SONIX. What I have here, .ai. These are three ways you can communicate and record. Wherever I talk, every Thursday I'm on a prayer call, so I record my information. My thing is that when I record my information, it keeps that information. And so now what ended up happening after that, I take my information and it converts it over to text. So now once it converts it over to text, now it's much easier. Sometimes you type stuff out, but I'm able to flow. So it allows me to where I can just flow and just communicate, just talk things out, do my research. I can utilize it, and it captures all my thoughts. It makes it so much easier. Just to let you guys know, I literally have captured so much information. I literally have enough information to where I can right now release like 6 or 7 more books. I have over 2 years of information which I've communicated on a platform, and it can actually write the book. So this is a great tool. Some of you probably think that it's frustrating. No, this is a great tool to where you allow your thought to really engage into, what you really want to talk about based off of the research you've done. Like I said, do your research. If you do your research, then you can utilize these tools. These are 3 different tools you can use: Scribe, Sonic, and Trent.com. Just 3 that I know of. I just picked Sonic in order to do mine. So it makes it that much easier. I'm telling you, I literally have all the information. Whether it can do it, whether you're doing it through your phone. Like now, like this conversation me and Dr. White are having right now is being recorded. Now, at the end, I can take all of this information and convert it over into text, and I can format it and turn it into a book. You can see how much easier you can have a conversation with one of your girlfriends or one of your boyfriends, whoever, record it, and now you can actually take that information and you can just take that and you can just clean it up. Once you clean it up, now you can turn it into a book. It's great, especially if it's great information like this. Me and Dr. White maybe talk after this. We may look to put it into a book, and guess what? Give it out for free. I mean, this is how you collaborate. That's why, I love being a part of a mastermind group or a part of any type of platform where people or like-minded people are coming together in order to make you successful. So this is how I go about doing mine. It has made my life that much easier, so much easier. When I go to an event or whatever, now I have a lot of resources I can put in people's hands. So you can see it makes your life that much easier. Just think about, I'm telling you,
disrespected, not appreciated, and the person not
unmuted. So it seemed like my first book I wrote, that book actually took me almost a year to write. My last two, I already had the information. All they had to do is take the information that's formatted. So you can see it will make your life that much easier if you do it that way. So.
Absolutely. Hey, great. Hey, look, I think I'm going to tell you, a lot of our mastermind members are writing books. This might be the most important piece right here for them to get this piece. And we'll push some stuff to the mastermind group because they're watching. They've been on Zoom. They see StreamYard. This is cold. I take my hat off to you. Knowledge is power. But then using that knowledge to become great and make it easier for yourself. Brother Dennis, I take my hat off to you. This is amazing. And we probably, since you, maybe I haven't written that down as a goal, but we might have to do some type of collaboration. And by the way, shout out to R. Wesley Webb, president of the 100 Black Men, who just joined the broadcast. Shout out to everybody. We're going to try to shout y'all out because I know y'all like to hear your name. And I'm looking down here. Sorry for the interruption there, Dennis, on the noise. But outstanding piece with the dictation. That's the way to go today, y'all.
I'm telling you, that's how I'm telling you, the people who are really making a lot of sales and that's how they do it. And then he also elaborated, and I get into more ghostwriting a little bit later in doing it that way. So the next topic we're going to talk about dealing with editing and formatting. You can elaborate on that, Dr. White, if you want to jump on that right quick.
Absolutely. I just republished my book today. It's not that I found some errors, things of that nature, but there were some things I thought that could look better. So, for example, let's talk about the quality of the content. This is probably this is so important as well, because the quality of your content, you got to do your research, as brother, AKA Spiritual Romeo said. Plagiarism, okay? There's no go steal something off the internet. And by the way, once it gets published, if it is plagiarized, it will get caught. So the quality of and the content, fonts, colors, all that matters, okay? And so you want to make sure that the quality of your content is really good. And so it's good to have other people look at it. Your attorney, get 3-4 eyes on it. I'm pretty sure even though Dennis cleans it up, he might have some software, but it's good to have other people take a peek at it. So quality of content is key, because if you have a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, PhD, whatever, they see that quality of content looking like a third grader wrote it, you're going to hear about it. Okay. So be very intentional. And if you got to pay somebody like me, a dentist, to make sure your quality of content is good, we'll take care of you. And our prices are better than a lot of these other folks. We ain't trying to, rake you over the coals, but that quality of content is key. Do you want me to stop right there or go right into formatting and style? Or did you have something you wanted to add to quality and content?
Hey, doctor, keep rolling. I believe in once you get started, man, don't stop a train from rolling, baby. Keep rolling.
Listen, let's go into style, wording, and formatting. I'm going to hit formatting at the end. Style and wording. Get your fonts. I would tell you the fonts between and wording, 12 pitch, 14 pitch, Times New Roman, Calabria. That's easy on the eyes. You don't want to go 8 or 10 pitch. I'm blessed. I don't have any reading glasses, but you start getting your style off, your wording and your formatting, the reader's going to have a difficult time. So I recommend 12 or 14 font. The style you should use a Times New Roman or Calabria is good. Your wording, get out there and get you some software. My wife has a bachelor's degree in English. She's really good. I'm a tech guy by trade, so I type in fragmented sentences, everybody. And, you know, when you do the spell check, your wording has to be intact. Like I had to reword some stuff today. It just didn't make any sense, y'all. Y'all would have been like, what is he saying? So make sure you get it proofread and you get it looked at, because your wording, you know, you might get a quote, but make sure the wording is like, if you name your chapter, make sure that the chapter reads to the name of the chapter. The wording is key. And be authentic, be organic. Don't steal somebody else's work. Do your own research. Tell your story, but your wording should be a depiction of you. Formatting. It's huge, because if your quality of content is good, your style, your wording is good, if that book ain't formatted properly, it ain't going to work. So, for example, your book should be a minimum of 10,000 words, just as a minimum, and that's about 75 pages. 75 pages. Now you got to make sure that and just as a knowledge piece, the number of pages will determine your book size. For example, this is a 5x8 book. This is a 6x9 book. Okay. Everybody, this is about 50, 60 pages. Quick, easy read. This is 120 pages. This is the spine of your book. So the number of pages is going to determine the size of your book. I wanted this one 7.0. So I wanted a different look there. So your style, your wording, that format is going to determine a lot. Spelling and grammar. What can I say, folks? I'm not the best speller out there, and I'm telling you, there's software out there. There's a company out there, a freelance called Fiverr. They'll clean your book up for little to no money, but it goes overseas, different time zones. I'm not with that anymore. I brought everything in-house, and I've got some software and some folks, you know, that I look at, and they say, hey, Doc, you misspelled this. Get your spelling and grammar right, because you don't want to be a bestseller and have misspelled words. It's embarrassing, y'all. And then you got to redo it. That's not a good look. Get it right on the first time and be patient. If you look at my brother Dennis's book is upstairs. My books are nice. His books are really nice. You could tell he spent more money than me. I'm going to be honest with you, because he went out and did some extra things. I did self-publishing. I'm not sure what he did. But there's a difference. When you're an author, you can start looking at the quality and content for people, right? Like if your website is through GoDaddy, or if you did it, I'm just saying the difference between like GoDaddy, a website, as opposed to MailChimp, just with a landing page. So the quality of your book will definitely determine more sales. Let's get down to what I like. My favorite one is your ISBN number. This is a specific barcode that you see on the back of each book right here, okay? Right there, just anyway, that is a serial number, basically your ISBN number. You might have 50 books, but that same ISBN number will be on your book, and that is how it is recognized through Amazon, however you published it. Once the ISBN number is put to the book, nobody can take it. You are now official author, copyright, you know, and so that's very important. I won't go into transferring an ISBN because that could take all night, but just understand, once your book, it has an ISBN number on it, and each book has one, and it's dedicated to you. The ISBN number for this book is different, right? And when that's scanned, it'll come up, and it's incorporated with the title of the book. And so that's how you can determine okay, the title of the book is tied to the ISBN number, and it's yours. So nobody can sue you. All right. Don't go up there writing a book about your ex-husband and they come sue you and that ISBN number. So I'm just saying that because that ISBN number is copyrighted and it protects you. So once you have it, it's unique to you. Back to you, Dennis.
Awesome. And I'm telling you right now, fam, well, he gave some great information. I'm going to tell you about my first book that I wrote. When I wrote my first book, and like I said, I handwritten it out, and I had someone because I'm not good with grammar and spelling. That's my weak area.
You're a tech guy like me, bro.
Hey, brother, hey, I don't have a problem. There's no shame in my game. Math was my strong suit. English and grammar in school, it just wasn't interesting to me. But my thing is that I learned. My first book, when I wrote it, hired someone to go and do the editing on my book, but they didn't do a good job. And when I went through it, I said, someone said mind you, the book was finished. I was like, someone told me there's errors in the book. And the person that edited my book said, well, it's okay. Sometimes you're going to find errors in every book. But the thing that, went ahead and pushed it out, but the thing, it irritated me because guess what? My name was on it. The people who edited my book, their name wasn't on it. My name
That's
was
right.
So, family, I released it. I pulled the book back and I gave it to someone else, a professional. I went through Fiverr, and this lady, she had a history. Fiverr is a tool that you utilize, whatnot. I can let you know right now. They edited it. It did a great job and whatnot. And my first book, forgot what I actually paid because in 2015. But my second book, I spent close to about $2,000 for that book. But I've gotten it back because my thing is that it's an excellent book. I've not received any negative feedback from that book. Your return is going to this is an investment. So whatever you invest, whatever you think you're going to invest. Some people spend a little bit less, but a little bit more. The editor that I use, she has a history of doing a phenomenal work. One of my mentors, he utilizes her. I've utilized her for my last book. I paid a little bit less because I learned. I get better and better. So when my first book, she had to do a lot of work with my second book. And so that's why I had to spend a little bit more. For my third book, spend a little bit less money because I did it a little bit different. So now she did not have to do a lot of correction. More, she had to format my book. Like Dr. White said, she had to format, make sure the content was good, make sure it flowed was good and everything like that. So I spent less money. So now, guess what? Now my sales now can keep more money in my pocket. That's the name of the game, family. You want to make sure you can keep that money in your pocket. That's what you want to do. So you want to do everything. Yes,
Dennis, I want to just say this to you. You brought up an amazing point. There's a lot of people on here. They're talking about good information. Brenda, Sharon out of Chicago. Dr. Claire Peters out of Houston. I just want to say this to you because I love you, brother. I spent more money on my first book because I really didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't. I mean, okay. I spent more money on this one. I spent less money on this one because I figured it out. I even spent less money on this one because I really know what I was doing. I don't have my fourth book because I just sold out all of them. But I just wanted to echo your brilliance. You learn as you go. Call me and Dennis. We're going to save you some money so you don't make the mistakes we made. I had to send my first book back 3 times. And I don't know why that lady kept sending me my book back. Pfeiffer, no disrespect. She had 5 stars. But why are you sending me back the same corrections that I done paid you twice already? But I learned real quick. I said, okay, to be a best-selling author, sometimes there's some pain with that because I was losing money. Dennis said it at the top of the show. And I want y'all to hear the sound of Spiritual Romeo and myself as we go to the next slide. Don't go out here trying to sell all the books to your family and your friends and your church members. You can do that, but you're going to wear them out like I done wore them out. So you know what me and Dennis do now? We go to the car dealership. I told Dennis the other day, I bought 3 cars from this car dealership. They wrote me a check for $500 and said, hey, purchase the books. I took that money and resold the books again and also donated some as well. So look at sponsorship. If you're dealing with a bank, a funeral home, you burying people.
Dr. White, because we're going to get into that.
Okay. And I just, I'm just sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to shut it down right there. But you're right. When you're writing more books, you should be making more money and saving because you shouldn't be making the same spelling there. So sorry to have jumped ahead, Spiritual Romeo.
Hey, you can see, family, we giving you some stuff. I'm telling you, we're going to make sure you don't go through the pain that we went through in writing our books. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made. My thing, I want you to be successful, prevent all of that headache. And I don't mind giving you the information. So definitely reach out. So the next thing is dealing with publishing. You can start, Dr. White. Well, I'll start. I'm be sure. This is what I utilize in order to I'm self-published. So my editor, she helped me out. She ended up getting it going. So you can do a Kindle. That's where you can, Kindle, read it on your tablets and stuff like that. Paperback. But the thing you want to transition to is doing audiobook. Audiobook is where we missed the mark. Audiobook, that's where you can people listen to your car. Some people are visual, some people hands-on, some people do better by hearing. So you do not want to miss out on the opportunity of getting a sale. Audiobook, I mean, it's going to cost you a couple of $100. All depends on what it costs, but the return. Realize this is an investment. When you see it as an investment, you realize, even as I go on to do, bigger and better things, I will still be able to sell these books. I will still be able to get these books in people's hands. So when you understand that, you want to take advantage of paperback, Kindle, as well as audiobook. Those three things are key. It's going to get you the return that you're looking for. Don't look at it right now, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and you still getting paid off this book that you've written. It's worth it.
That's right. That's right. I'll jump in with Kindle. If you have what we call, these are paperbacks. Well, Dennis and I are showing you, these are paperbacks. When you do your paperback, they should range anywhere from $15 to $20. Okay, $15 to $20. Also, Kindle, it doesn't cost you any more money on the same platform if you're using Create Space, which now has been bought out by Kindle Direct, KDP. What you do is you do the paperback, and then you just click another button and turn it into a Kindle, which is literally an ebook, which is really a PDF. Okay, and you want to set that price for the Kindle about 99 cents minimum to $2.99.
And see, can you elaborate on pricing, if you could? How sometimes people price themselves. I just want you to elaborate on pricing, if you could.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I'm looking at some I'm gonna be honest with you. I have made probably close to $4,000 or $5,000 on all my books, which is for a self-published person and nobody really know you. Like Oprah, like when you go on Oprah's show and she said, go buy that person's book, you became a bestseller in one day because Oprah said, go buy it. Well, me and Dennis have to go out and market our own book, hit up the church, hit up the car dealership. So pricing is key. If nobody knows you, please don't sell your book for $20, $25. That's a tough sale. And think about this. I get it. Because if people, I don't ask people to buy my book off of Amazon because they're going to take 50 to 60% of your royalties. So if you set now I get why your book is $20, $25. So this book is 15 because I had made so much money off of this one. This one was 20. And I'm going to tell you why to talk about, but I set this one at 15 because I knew I was going to come see you on book 3 and say, well, hey, you can go and get all 3 of these for $30, right? But here's the pricing. Set your book between $10 and $15. The lower your price is, the more you can sell. So this book sold much more quicker because the price was lower. So I said, I know it's worth 20, but I'm going to sell it for 15. And I'm coming off a best-selling project, but I still lowered this one. So let me just say this to y'all. For paperbacks, $15 to $20. Don't go over $20 because now you got to give yourself room for $4 for shipping and handling. Okay. Keep your book between $15 and $20 self-published. Ebook, 99 cents to $2.99. Now you really got me getting ready to hit you. So some of you best-selling authors, y'all should tell them the truth. You're talking about 50 copies in an hour or 500 in a day from a Kindle ebook. God bless you, but that's a far cry for 500 copies of a paperback that costs 15 or 20 bucks. Can I preach tonight? So I appreciate y'all doing the $2.99 campaign, but boy, and I'm gonna hit on audiobook, but just understand a Kindle, because a lot of people say, I don't want a paperback. I get it. I do have my books available on Kindle, but wow, selling 30 copies at 99 cents, boy, that's just enough gas money to get me home, Dennis. So we know that it's hard to pay your mortgage by selling books, okay? But also there's some programs that'll come out of your book outside of that, like, you sell your book, but also you can go do lectures at colleges. So there's more things in your book than just selling the book, but set a good price point. Don't go overboard. I have a young lady in the DMV. I love you, but your book is not worth $25. I'm sorry. You got some people that are multimillionaires. They have sold millions of books and their book is $10 and $15. So $25, that's a tough sale. And then we ain't adding no shipping and handling on that. So paperback, 15 to 20 bucks, ebook, 99 cents to $2.99.
Right, and that is so key. That's why I really want you to harp on pricing, because I know someone reached out to me. I don't mind supporting them, but they were trying to sell a book for $35, and this is a new author, and you're talking about $35. I'm like, no, you want to be able to sell it for a price that is reasonable and attractive. So that's why I wanted him to elaborate on that. So now we're going to.
And Dennis, let me make a joke. Let me say a joke. If it's $35, it better include lunch, okay? Shout out to Dr. Claire Peters. She said audiobook is the way to go. Do it. I will say this to you all, because Dennis is amazing. He's bad. I get a chance to talk to Dennis once a week, y'all. Audiobook, make sure you got some quality sound equipment, okay? That's key with that. It's going to cost you $1,500 to $5,000, depending on who you use. But audiobooks is where to go. There's a guy that made $1 million in 6 months doing audiobooks, and all of his audiobooks were in 7-Elevens. So just a different game, but that's the way to go, audiobook.
So yeah. So one thing I can definitely say, dealing with the audiobook, that's definitely a way where we are missing out on an opportunity. So now what we're going to do, we're going to transition to the next one, marketing. Oh my goodness, Dr. White, you can see we marketing family. I'm gonna let you know right now. This is the money maker. This is how you make your money. And I'm gonna talk about this marketing piece. Dr. White going to give his 2 cents on dealing with marketing. First time you write your book, like I said, your family and your friends are going to support you. And Dr. White, he started to go down the road. My thing is that think about the places where you spend money. I don't care where you spend money, where you go out to eat. If you spend money in their business, they should be supporting you when you come out with a book. Your money, that's what you call support. I don't care what it is. Gas station, I don't care, McDonald's, whatever. Wherever you're spending money, you need to let them know, hey, I have a book coming out. I would like you guys to support me. I'm spending money in your business. This is where you can kind of support me back. You can allow me to put it here on the shelf or whatever the case may be. That's what you do. You can't just be spending money on them and they're not spending back on you. You need to look at Google, YouTube. You can see we on social media right now. You have to get involved with that. But the most important thing is paid ads. You're going to have to invest the money in order to get your book outside of the four walls of the people that you know. So when I look forward to going to events, because my thing is that I'm able to sell my books, but it also allows me to connect with other people. I also get involved with, I'm involved with the multi-level marketing. I get involved with that because of the connection. We would go to events. I bring my books. I go to my events. I let them know. Try to set up. My thing is that because it's people outside of my, four walls. So you want to get where a lot of people, even being a part of the DMV Mastermind Group, even though we're changing our name, still yet these are people that know you, going to invest in you, support you. You want to get with a group that's going to support you. When you support one another, that's helping you get to that next level. And when they come out with their books, we support them. Let me know. Yeah, I'm going to get a book from you. You support me, I support you. It's teamwork that make a dream work.
Amen. Amen. Just to piggyback, I won't take a lot of time. When I first started in business, I used a marketing firm called, well, I won't give you their name, and they're a really reputable company in Annapolis, but they were very similar to Groupon and Living Social, meaning like they would take your business, advertise it, and then they would take 50% of the money because you didn't have the demographics to reach out to all these different areas. So Dennis is spot on here. If you want to sell some books in Boise, Idaho, you're going to have to do some things outside them four walls. Google, everybody knows Google's attached to YouTube. So Dennis and I are now, this is why StreamYard is good. We can disseminate this broadcast out on Facebook, also on YouTube. I'm building up my YouTube channel because you can sell and advertise your business on YouTube, social media, Twitter. Everything I do with my radio show goes to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the top four. So Whatever you put on Facebook, it should be on LinkedIn. Tasteful stuff now, because some folks on LinkedIn, you're looking like Facebook. Don't do that. A whole different business crowd. But you can, and I want to break this down. I have made a little over $2,500 on LinkedIn, pushing my books and services. I have made $3,000 on Twitter. I've yet to make a dime off of Instagram, and I'm working on that to figure out why that's the case. And Dennis and I are going to talk offline. Here's the kicker: social media. With books, tickets, I've made $90,000, over $90,000 in 6 years on Facebook. With paid ads, come on, it's free. We don't pay anything for Facebook. Now, I have done my paid ads for books and galas. The fact of the matter is, use these social media platforms. Generation Z and X, they spend most of their time online. So you got to target these millennials, Generation X and Z, because those are people on social media platforms, your books. I can talk all day on this one, but sometimes you're going to have to spend a little money on these ads. You don't want to just have everything on your personal page. I've taken out a $50 ad to run an ad on the West Coast just so the people out there where I'm not popular can get the information. Google, YouTube, social media. He says MediaCom there, and paid ads. All of the above, you need it because you want to make sure that you have a funnel to push everything out to all of the 50 states and also international as well.
Awesome, awesome. So you see, family, once you get into this part of it, and like I said, when you're marketing, you're trying to get it out there. Just think about it. You're trying to get your name out there, and you're trying to make sure that you are getting in front of as many people as possible. Getting involved, going to events. I'm letting you know right now that when events happen, I know in COVID, it made a change, but once we come out of COVID, when you write your books and events take place, you want to go. I'm letting you know. That's why I'm writing as many books as I can, so I can make sure that when I go to an event, you never know who you're going to come across. So you want to make sure you actually get something, you can put something in their hands, but most importantly, you want to make sure that they're marketing. When when someone buy your book, tell them, market it, talk about your book. That's helping you get to that next level. So it's very key. When someone buy my book, I let them know, like, hey, please take a picture with it, saying, hey, get this book. It's helping you get to that next level. So, and I think I'm not sure. Yeah. So family, that's it. That is a complete process, step-by-step process that you go through in being able to sell your book, market your book, or anything. So my thing is that I see some of you guys are wondering if you guys probably had any questions. I tried to put the link in there, so that's where we could accept you. I see we have Hartwell, Miss Lisa Hartwell. She's in the group here, chat with us. I could accept her in if she wanted to. But if you wanted to come off mute or whatever case may be, you could come ask a question. But if you have a question you would like to ask, put it in there. I see all the comments, see a whole bunch of appreciate the information, thankful, anything like that. So, but if you have a question, drop a question. I can read it, and then we'll address it. Just give a few minutes just to see if anybody had any questions that we probably missed, or if Dr. White probably want to comment or something like that. There's something else you possibly want to add, Dr. White?
Well, look, this has been amazing. I do apologize about my granddaughter. Boy, that's what happens when you work from home. Since this is our first time using StreamYard, I said, oh, there's the mute button, okay? But God bless her. She definitely wanted to join the broadcast tonight. Shout out to Baby Sky. This is really great. I mentioned to you offline that I took a course in being a certified book publisher. I did that at Microsoft. It only cost me $200. I invested the time to understand what needs to happen to publish a book. You all, if Dennis and I can do it, and I'm not beating us up, we sharp, but you can do it as well. I'm pretty sure when Dennis is a military man, I'm not sure if he saw it in the cards 5 years ago to be a published author. We both told you we made some mistakes on that first book. I would like to say we're gurus now. We travel, we talk on the radio, we try to empower people. But I will tell you, be a published author, tell your story. I encourage everybody from the listening to the sound of my voice, Spiritual Romeo. If you were born and you breathing, you have a story. And if your book is about a biography of your life, turn it into a book. Dennis hit on it in a certain kind of way. If a book is basically an extra stream of income, I know every week I'm at least make 50 to $100 by selling a few books. And then every now and again, I go to my bank account, and Amazon sent me a check. So sometimes the wife goes, "Don't order any pizza for the kids. Where's your extra money coming from? Sold a few books today, dear." I tell her that all the time. So tell your story. I actually took some stuff out of my dissertation and wrote my first book. Okay. So if you got a lot of things that you've written down, turn it into a book. Call me and Dennis, aka Spiritual Romeo, and we'll help you get it published. And let me tell you this, Dennis, I wrote 2 books during the pandemic. I wrote Iron Sharpened Irons in the beginning of the pandemic with a team. And I just finished When Men Lean In, We All Win. So I wrote 2 books in 60 days. And now that I'm written my 4th book, I literally, if I really had the time and really want to do it, I can help someone, and I can do a book in a week if I really needed to.
Right. Yeah. And it's possible. I know I could, like I said, I already have the content. And one thing I can I didn't elaborate on is dealing with ghostwriting. Let me tell you, that's one part I actually left off. Ghostwriting. Remember, I talked about dictation and recording and stuff. Ghostwriting is something that a lot of people don't mean. What a ghostwriter does, it will literally take my audio, they will hear what I'm saying, and they will literally type it out. And they will format it to where it's smooth and everything like that. So now it's in text. And what they do, they capture your thoughts, but they make it to where a reader, when someone reads it, they can articulate the points you're trying to make. For my next book, is I already know my next 5 books. I already know what they're going to be about. My next book is going to be about kids finding their purpose, because I believe it's very important that you have a kid go after their purpose versus things. So once you find their purpose, for example, LeBron James is 6'8", 260 pounds. Some people would probably think LeBron James was a tight end, but he's one of the greatest basketball players that ever played the game. He found his purpose. I just was showing someone I was mentoring today, there was a young kid who got into stocks. So what he ended up doing he was 8 years old. He is, by the age 13, he's almost a multimillionaire. He talked about how in one day he did one trade transaction in stocks and made $7,000 to $8,000. He found his purpose. The kid is 13 years old. So at a young age, we need to make sure we're making sure these kids are going after their purpose versus going after things. Then my next book will be about women empowerment. And then after that, men empowerment. The book after that will be dealing with entrepreneurship. The book after that will be about why God doesn't ordain a divorce. I will talk about that because God always keeps his end of the deal. We mess it up. So we follow the instructions what God give us and keep a whole bunch of junk out of our life. Trust you me, we can enjoy this life which God has for us. And so those are my books for which I'll be writing in the near future, and that gives me 8. Like I said, that gives me 8 books, and then all that revolves around the platform for which I'm talking about. Like I said, branding myself. And once you start branding yourself, family, I'm telling you, you gotta know your own value. You now think about, you work on a job in 9 to 5, they pay you whatever they pay you based on what they believe you should get paid. My book, I write, and I have a price point on it, but when I go out now, based off of my hard work, the return I'm getting out of, I'm satisfied because I know the effort that I put into it. In the very beginning, if you think you're gonna sit behind the desk, no, you gotta grind. But I'm grinding over something that I see value in. That's the name of the game. And once you can do that, family, you really can put a smile on your face. That, man, if someone hit me up and say, Dennis, I just got my book in, and I'm looking, she sent me a picture. So guess what? That makes me feel good. I sign every book that I sell, I sign. You get it from me, get from my website, I sign. So what we're going to do in closing, Dr. White, we're going to close. I'm going to go right here to you next. Tell people how they can get in contact with you. Handsome young man right there. Just tell in closing, tell people how they can get in contact with you.
Well, listen, Dennis, I want to thank you for this amazing opportunity. This is a very dear subject to me, to not only write books, but to help other people get where we're at. So thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who joined us tonight. This has been fun. You can reach me at VIPeventsconcierge.com. That's VIP events with an S, concierge.com. Dr. Larry White Sr. on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Dr. Larry White Sr. across the board. And I'm very easy to find. And also my talk show online it airs every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and Dennis has been on my show before, and I want all of you all, Stacey Ladisall, Mark Clark, all of you celebrities, all you amazing people. My anniversary is December 1st, 1 year on with my talk show, and I want everybody to chime in and say, hey, how you doing? So it's going to be a 1-year anniversary for my talk show. Look forward to it. And Dennis Nickens, aka Spiritual Romeo, thank you so much for allowing me to share this amazing platform with you tonight. I had some fun, my brother, and I pray, I know it has blessed some people, because I'm seeing the responses, and we help some people. I want to say this about Spiritual Romeo, everybody. He didn't have to do this. He called me 2 days ago, and I'm kind of like a 2-week, 30-day guy to promote some stuff. Dennis is like, don't worry about it, brother. We're going to put it together. We're going to do it. He did all the graphics. He did all of the flyers. He did the content. I'm riding his coattail tonight. And that's the way it should be, because I do a lot of work, and normally I'm on the other side. So when he called me, I was like, man, I just can, just chime in every now and again. So thank you for taking the lead. And by the way, I don't know if you saw the email that I sent you last night, Dennis, we talked late, but I want to congratulate you on your promotion to the Mastermind Group, Signature Entrepreneurs Mastermind. You're now a senior executive director with us, and you are on the executive team. So shout out to you, brother. You make me better. And I thank you for this opportunity today.
Awesome. Appreciate my brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate the promotion. And the one thing I can say that I'm just looking forward to definitely continue our collaboration as we continue to do. As guys know, I'm Dennis Nickens, aka Spiritual Romeo. Those are 3 books that I wrote. And I'm excited for where I'm going, family, more than anything. You can reach me at DennisNickens.com. You can purchase any one of my books, as well as the DIS platform. If you're trying to look at your personality trait, you can definitely do that. The books are amazing books, amazing read. And what I'm looking at doing, and actually, if you guys know, I'm looking at the one thing that they say about our culture is that we don't read. So the one thing I'm going to be looking at doing, speaking with one of my spiritual sisters, we were talking about every Friday. I'll let you guys know, to where we'll bring a book. We're going to have a discussion on this platform, talk about the book. We'll take like one chapter out of the book and have a discussion, because I think we learn more about it if we have a discussion about something that we're all reading. And so we're taking it slow, maybe 1 or 2 chapters every other week or every week, or whatever the case may be. But that's coming soon, to encourage us to read more, because that's where we miss a lot of things. I was talking to Dr. White about businesses starting their business. A lot of time people start their business and they try to save up their money. But do you realize that a lot of white people actually take advantage of grant funding, but we don't know how to get access to grant funding. And grant funding, I just put in for grant funding for a project that's a major project that allow me to do a lot more, to where I'm not spending money out of my pocket. What I'm doing, I'm waiting for the federal government to approve me for this funding. And once they get approved, I'm going to be able to do a lot more. But we missed out of, I had a conversation with someone they said pretty much over almost about 85% of grant funding goes to white people because they applied for it. And it's not a negative thing. It's just the fact that they read and they take advantage of opportunities. We don't read and we rely on stuff like that. But so my thing is, I'm out to encourage us to do more in order to learn more, than or to get access to more. I want to live the good life. I believe in that. Living the good life. And when you can do that, family, you really can enjoy your life. So, Dr. White, I'm not sure. That concludes. I'm not sure if you had something else that you wanted to say. Didn't have any questions.
That was it. And I just want to say this one more thank you. Now, you mentioned LeBron James. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to drive about 40 minutes to go watch this LeBron James win a championship tonight, okay? And so I'm going to call you to debrief everything. So give me about 15 minutes. I'm going to call you down the road. But I want to thank everybody. This is amazing. Lord, this girl here. COVID-19 pandemic. But yes,
yeah, we understand. We got it.
Pandemic, yeah. I just one of my contributing authors. He did a show the other day, and he had his granddaughter with him. I was like, oh, that was nice. So Baby Sky wanted to always join the broadcast. But look, this was great, and let me tell you, this is good. This is an iron sharpening iron. You made me better today. I even learned some things that takeaway for me was those dictation devices. Everybody, go do the dictation piece because it'll save you a lot of time and energy. Okay. Dennis, I want to thank you for bringing that out. This has been an amazing broadcast, and I want to congratulate you from one best-selling author to the next. Keep doing a great job. You are absolutely amazing. When I met him a year ago, he didn't have one book. Now he got 4, working on towards 8. I'm going to stop at 6, and I'll tell you that on another show, but I just am so proud of you. I love your book. Your book has helped me be a better husband. It's a lot of great tools. One thing about Dennis Nickens' book, he's just not telling stories and giving you examples, but he's talking about how you can get certifications and certain things and tools you need to be better at home. But the ones he talked about with singlehood, hey, look, you single folks, we ain't forgot about you guys. I tell you, when I was single, I was like, wow, I really kind of want to be married. You know, the Lord didn't put us down here to be alone. But I take my hat off to you. That's huge, because I know you're a relationship guy and you want to see people equally yoked, but that's huge. Y'all have no idea when you write a book and you have a vision. And one thing I'll say in closing, me and Dennis just don't write books to impress you, to help you. We do. But the first thing we do is we pray first and we ask the Lord if that's something we should be doing. So we're in alignment with our God when we push these books out. So God bless everybody. Thank you so much for letting me be on here tonight.
Awesome. Family, thank you for your time. God bless, Godspeed, and see you guys on our next broadcast.